Your mother's dead. Before long I'll be dead. And you. And your brother. And your sister. And all of her children. All of us dead. All of us rotting in the ground.
What's the deal, my people? You know this is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one. In the last video, The Black Wedding, I gave you proof why Euron Greyjoy will kill Cersei Lannister. And I also gave you the reason why this will happen to the Lannister family, because of Tywin Lannister's actions, and that the children will have to pay for the sins of the father. And it will be the Ironborn, Euron specifically, who will see this through.
Proud Lannister children. The dwarf, the cripple, and the mother of madness.
In this video, I will tell you exactly why Tyrion Lannister has to die. Point blank. Just like Tywin said in the beginning, all of his family members must die. And this is how Tyrion is going to die.
Before long I'll be dead. And you. And your brother. And your sister, and all of her children. All of us dead, all of us rotting in the ground.
Now the number one reason why Tyrion Lannister has to die is because Tyrion Lannister killed his father.
Tyrion, put down the crossbow.
He is a kinslayer. You cannot kill your father and get away with it in this series.
You're no son of mine. I am your son. I have always been your son.
And I know there are many Tyrion fans that think he's going to make it to the end, but really look at this man's situation. Look at his story. The nice Lannister, the nicest one of them all, just happens to live till the end. Do you think that's what we've been reading? Do you think that's really going to happen? Because I don't. Throughout the history of Westeros, the Ironborn and Lannisters have always been fighting, so it's not just out of nowhere that Euron would be the one to take the Lannister family down.
Weren't you the one who started that rebellion by sailing to Casterly Rock and burning the Lannister fleet? You certainly caught us there. Very smart move on your part.
But can we find a connection between Tyrion and Euron Greyjoy in the books? And I think we can. From Quaithe, when she says this to Daenerys: "The glass candles are burning. Soon comes the pale mare, and after her the others. Kraken and dark flame, lion and griffin, the sun's son and the mummer's dragon. Trust none of them. Remember the undying. Beware the perfumed seneschal." Now, most people agree that the people on this list do not have Daenerys' best interests at heart. So why is Tyrion on this list? I mean, everyone else you want to say, everyone says is bad, but Tyrion's on this list also. So he must not have her best interests at heart. Euron and Tyrion both being people that Daenerys are not supposed to trust. Look at the way he killed his father. Look how slow he loaded those arrows. He was enjoying it. Tyrion is not a good person. This is also the same person who told Cersei, talking about his own nephew, whatever happens to Shay will happen to Tommen, including the rapes. Now, as I said, the sins of the father will be revisited on the children, and this will come in the form of Tyrion's big fat mouth. Now, we know that Sir Ilyn Payne had his tongue chopped off because he spoke highly about Tywin Lannister.
Tongue it is.
Your Grace, please. I won't. Your Grace.
Sir Ilyn, who better than you to carry out the sentence?
I beg you, please.
This is nothing new. This has been foreshadowed in the books for a long time, and all of us book readers know this. This is something that the show readers may not know. So these are some quotes from the book proving that when they say something to you over and over in the books, this is what is going to happen. Bronn snorted. "You have a bold tongue, little man. One day someone is like to cut it out and make you eat it." Oberyn made a face. "Do all dwarves have a tongue like yours? Someone is going to cut it out one of these days." Now, there are other quotes about this, but the one that means the most is the one from Cersei, because she is the one who is going to marry Euron. "Whether or no, I should have your tongue out for that. I am Joffrey's regent, not you. And I say that Myrcella will not be shipped off to Dornish the way I was shipped off to Robert Baratheon. From this, we can see clearly Cersei is going to blame Tyrion forever for the death of Myrcella, and that is going to give her reason to want Euron to cut out his tongue. And this is something that Euron loves to do, cut out people's tongues.
And when the storm passed, you cut out their tongue.
I needed silence.
There is no reason to have him say it, or acknowledge someone else saying it to him. And no reason to show this being performed on his ship graphically, unless this was going to happen again in the show and by a major character he's going to get. And that major character, no doubt, will be Tyrion Lannister. And we have the final proof of that in the Forsaken chapter. The dreams were even worse the second time. He saw the longships of the Ironborn adrift and burning on a boiling blood-red sea. He saw his brother on the Iron Throne again. But Euron was no longer human. He seemed more squid than man, and monstered fathered by a kraken of the deep. His face was a mass of withering tentacles. Besides him stood a shadow in woman's form, long and tall and terrible, her hands alive with pale white fire. Dwarves capered for their amusement, male and female, naked and misshapen, locked in cardinal embrace, biting and tearing at each other, as Euron and his mate laughed and laughed and laughed. Now, in the part 1 of the Black Wedding, I explained to you exactly why that's Cersei and Euron, so I will not do that again, just go back to part 1. So that is Tyrion as one of the dwarves capering for their amusement. And we look at the word capered, and we look at the dictionary definition for it. It says, skip or dance about in a lively or playful way. And what show watchers might not know is that Tyrion Lannister in the books is an accomplished acrobat. He does cartwheels and all that in the books, and that's why his father doesn't like him. One of the reasons why, because he thinks it makes him look like a fool. So how will Tyrion Lannister die? That's what this video is about. Tyrion Lannister will be captured by Cersei and Euron. Cersei will then have Euron cut out Tyrion's mouth. Tyrion will then be a court jester type person dancing around for them. After this, Tyrion will escape. But when he runs into Daenerys Targaryen, he will not be able to communicate because of his tongue being chopped off. Daenerys will then believe that Tyrion has switched sides and will take Quaithy's words to heart, and Daenerys will burn Tyrion Lannister alive. That is Tyrion Lannister's connection to the dragons. Not that he's a Targaryen, but that he's going to be burned alive by a dragon. So you tell me what you think in the comments. Do you like this theory or don't you? And before it's all said and done, this theory's the Black Wedding. We got to get to Jaime Lannister. That'll be the next video. So if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.